Welcome back everybody to another pomade review. Today we'll be taking a look at another gel type water-based pomade, and the pomade I'll be reviewing today is Suavecito 3. This is one of the newest releases from the Suavecito line, and let's talk about the jar design first. There is, other than the light blue color, there's really no visual differences between this one and the OG medium. Same old, we have the Suavecito mascot and logo on the lid. And you have the logo in the side of the jar with the water soluble symbol, as well as the directions of use and the ingredients. You know, what I find to be the biggest issue about the packaging of Suavecito's gel type pomades is that they tend to be made of cheap plastic. On the day when I got this, I used it within the first hour for the first time, and it was not even 1 hour until I dropped the can, and the lid broke. So they're not going to change their packaging anytime soon, that is for sure. But on my part, I should be a lot less of a clumsy person, but that is a different story. The scent on it is the exact same scent as the original, which is cologne type scent. And if you look at the pomade, it looks almost no different from the medium as well. Exact same color, similar consistency. This is the light hold and this is the original. You can't really, if you switch the labels, you switch the lids of the jars. I can't really tell which one is which because they just look really similar to each other, almost the same actually. And just like any other Suavecito pomade, I just love to do this every time. I mean, sometimes buying Suavecito gel type is just worth it for the sound alone. There's that distinct, vibrant ring to it that, you know, it's almost soothing. I can just have someone tap a can of Suavecito next to my bed to wake me up every morning, and I wouldn't mind. I could wake up to this. Well, who knows, I might add something new to the job market. Or, you know, it's sort of like bringing the 19th century back again when you used to have these people knocking up on your windows with these huge bars to wake people up. But instead of that, we have someone tapping on the back of the Suavecito cans. It's, you know, I'm just putting something out there for the job market. Anyway, let's just talk more about the pomade. Now, scooping it out, you can already tell that it feels almost similar to the OG medium. It's sort of like, it has the jelly consistency, like a typical gel type, but it feels a little smoother to scoop out. And breaking it down, that's when you can actually really tell the difference because it just breaks down so much easier. It feels smoother and even creamier than the original medium. Applying it to the hair is effortless. It has less of a resistance, obviously, than the original medium. And it's just really easy to apply to hair. My hair is slightly damp right now. I'm just going to apply a little more to the back and sides. You know, with if you use a lot, like a heckin' huge amount of the Suavecito medium and you apply it to your hair, you can actually feel a little bit of tug. But with this one, there's absolutely no tug at all. It feels just a lot easier to apply to the hair and just less tuggy compared to the original medium Suavecito. Now, it's time to slick everything back. Slicking back is also very effortless. And now when it comes to styling of this pomade, there is obviously less control than the original medium. I mean, it is still supposed to have control, but don't apply this to overly damp hair because it almost feels like there is hardly any control if you do. So just with any gel type, take it easy on dampness of your hair. Just gonna form the part right now. What I also do enjoy about the styling factor of the light hold is that my problem with the original medium is that it dries too quickly. In the middle of styling, you tend to have it hardening up on you sometimes. You have to reactivate the product by dipping your comb into water first, or it's a race against time. Sometimes you have to just race against the clock to finish your hairstyle before it hardens up, and it would end up looking rather mediocre. And I don't really have the best results from styling with the original medium either, because usually I tend to have a very blocky look to my pompadours, especially when I style with the original medium. They tend to give me a very flat, blocky, wall-shaped pomp, and it couldn't really get my hair to look as good as with an oil-based pomade or even with layrite with the original medium. But I find that I can obtain a better and more natural rounded shape with the light hold compared to the medium hold. So you can see I'm forming the pomp right now. And there's actually more volume with this one than the medium, because it has more of a light weight to it. Therefore, I'm able to actually build more volume because it weighs my hair down less. And the thing about this pomade is that the hardening time it takes, it doesn't take too long, but it's substantially noticeable. It's like a noticeable increase in time of hardening compared to the original medium, which is good. So you can take your time while you're actually styling your hair with it, especially the styling control. I mean, the styling with this pomade, it tends to take a little more time than with the original medium in my experience, because you have less control. However, you still have a better overall shape and better sculpt to your hairstyle with this one. Like I said, you can achieve a more rounded shape with it. And I am done. I just need to fix a few stray hairs in the sides. And if we talk more about the hardening factor of this this pomade, it's not as hard as the it's substantially less hard than the original Suavecito, and it's even less hard than most conventional gel type pomades. It will give you sort of that very, very slight helmet head feel, but it's significantly less noticeable than most gel type pomades. It's not like Damon Barber or Cool Grease or Lockhart's Paradox, where it won't harden at all, but it will harden. You will notice it, but it's very, very slight, that it's almost trivial, and you can actually somewhat recomb it as long as this pomade doesn't really dry up. That's within the first half an hour or so, because it takes quite long to dry up, and not too long, but relatively much slower to dry and harden than the medium hold. So I think it's time to show my hairstyle right now. And the shine on this is also exactly the same as the original medium, where if you applied to down hair, you would have sort of like a medium to high glossy shine, but after, while it sets, it gets down to more of a lower shine. And it's sort of like a between low to medium shine, almost neutral actually, just a few notches above neutral. So it's time to show how my hair looks. As you can see, I have more of a round and forward shape to my pompadour, while usually with the original medium it just looks very flat. As with any Suavecito gel type, the washability in this one is super easy, and you can even rinse it out of your hair without any shampoo. Now, when it comes to the hold and endurance in this one, it is advertised to be a light hold. But when you say light hold, a lot of people tend to not like light holds. They tend to avoid light holds. But this one actually is not super light of a hold. It actually has somewhat of a hold for a light, especially this being a gel type. It will harden up slightly to give you that hold. Obviously, it does not have the hold of the medium, and you eventually would have to recomb it back in place and reactivate it with a bit of water. But if you actually don't use too much product, you can even recomb it throughout the day, it remains somewhat malleable because the hardening factor is almost trivial. So I wouldn't say it has a light medium hold, but it has the perfect amount of load hold to actually describe it as a light hold. It's slightly like a notch or two above a true light, but it won't, for me, it's not really much of a hold to go enough to the lighter side of medium, but it's still just a notch or two above a true light hold pomade. Another thing I find enjoyable about the Suavecito light hold is its much better and improved slickness compared to the medium hold. My problem with the medium is that I would initially have my sides locked into place as I want them after initial styling, but after settling down, firming up, and drying up, my sides would just expand a little bit. It would just kind of poof up and it won't be as tight as they were during initial styling. And sometimes some of the hairs that were slicked back would pop up a little towards the back. And I don't have this problem at all with the light hold. And what you're seeing right now with my sides already slicked and locked into place, it would remain like this throughout the rest of the day, which is clearly much better in the slickness department compared to the medium hold. What I have to say about this, well, it's a pretty good light pomade to use. This being a gel type, pretty good light hold pomade to use in hotter and humid conditions. So what I have to say about this overall is that I never really say any super good things about a Suavecito gel type pomade, because to me, most of them are kind of like, they're just okay. They do the job, but not outstandingly, and they're easy to use, they're quick. The original pomade just does the job without impressing me. But with this one, I highly choose this, for my personal preference, I would choose this over the original medium on any day. In fact, I was actually happy with this the first time I used it, and it's so far, in my opinion, the best Suavecito gel type pomade. That's my personal opinion, because it provides the best shape to my hair compared to the original and the firme hold, and it doesn't dry as much. It also has, it gives you the best volume, even though volume is not something that I generally look for, but the most important thing here is that I like the shape that it gives my palms. It's sort of, even for a gel type pomade, it gives my palm a pretty good shape. So I actually do recommend this light hold pomade, even for you oil-based pomade junkies out there like me who don't really use a lot of gel type water-based pomades. Well, nowadays I've been using quite some gel type pomades more than usual, even though I used to be the guy who kind of avoids it, because we're in the summer right now and I want to do more reviews that actually suits people's needs out there. So I'm doing a lot more gel type reviews these days. All in all, I actually recommend Suavecito's light hold. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon to miss a single upload of the Squinty Show. Also do leave a comment or question or request if you have any, and I'll see you next time on the Squinty Show.